So this is the 11th video of series chess opening theories, and in this video I am going to tell you about Sicilian defense dragon variation with the help of 5 very amazing lines. And I play this Sicilian dragon a lot from the black side, and it has even helped me reach 2000 plus. Okay, so let's start with the first line. So the name of this line is Yugoslav attack. So it starts with the move pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, pawn takes, knight takes, then knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop e3, then bishop to g7, pawn to f3, knight c6, queen d2, castling by black, then bishop to c4, bishop d7, then white also do a long castle, rook c8, bishop back to b3, then knight e5, h4, h5 by black to stop the attack, then bishop to g5, rook to c5, king b1, b5, g4, a5. So it is the queen side versus king side pawn storm battle. So then g takes h5, a4 by black, then pawn to h6, bishop to h8, h7 check, then knight takes h7, then bishop to d5 and bishop to g7. Okay, you can already see it's a very dynamic line, and again all three results are possible because currently it is equal. It's queen side versus king side battle, and the player who reaches the first on the opponent's king will definitely win. And this is very good for the players who like to play dynamic lines and who have a very good who are very good at calculation. Okay, so if you are good at calculation, I would recommend you to play this line. Okay, so now let's go back and look at the second line, and this second line is my favorite line, and I play it a lot from the black side. So I will show you this line from the black side only. So I'll just flip the board, and the name of this line is modern line in the Yugoslav attack. So it starts with the move pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, pawn to d4, cd4, then knight takes d4, knight f6, knight to c3, pawn to g6, bishop to e3, then bishop g7, f3, knight to c6, queen d2, castling by black. And in this, if let's say white also do a long castle, then there is a very amazing idea for black to like always stop this attack, because white is going for, like, will definitely come for this h4 g4 ideas. So to play a move pawn to d5, do a pawn sacrifice, then e takes, knight takes d5, knight c6, b takes c6, knight takes d5, pawn takes, queen takes, and then there is an amazing move queen to c7, hanging this rook. Okay, so let's say white takes the rook, then there is a move bishop to f5, threatening checkmate here. So queen has to play queen takes rook check, then king takes, and the only move that white has to play here to equalize the game is rook to d2. All other moves loses. I have seen like so many people play here the move like bishop to d3, but it clearly fails to the move queen e5, and then there is a multiple threats here. So the only move here is rook d2. Here I cannot go queen to e5 because then there will be a direct checkmate. Okay, so this is the equal line again. All the three results are still possible. The plan for black here will be try not to exchange the bishops, and plan for white will be to try exchange the bishops. Okay, simple as that. And I have played it, even I have lost playing this, and I have won also playing this. So it's again a very dynamic and very nice line to play for you. Okay, so now let's go back and look at the third variation. This is known as classical dragon. Okay, so it starts with the move pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, then pawn to d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight to f6, knight c3, pawn to g6, and then the move is bishop to e2. Okay, so it continues with the move bishop to g7, castling by white, then knight c6, bishop to e3, castling by black, knight to b3, bishop e6, pawn f4, then queen c8, king h1, bishop to g4, bishop g1, rook b8, knight d4, then bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, and then the move is pawn to b5. The thing is, if white takes it with any knight, then there is a move pawn to a6, and rook will take the pawn, and black will be having will have a good position. So here the good move for white is to play pawn to e5. Here you can already see there is a lot of tension in the center. Again, this line is equal, this position is equal, all the three results are again possible. You can play this line, this and also like you will enjoy playing the Sicilian like classical dragon also. And I would recommend you to try this line because so many people are there who don't prepare for classical dragon, so you may get an advantage here. Okay, so now let's go back and look at the fourth line. So this we will again look from the white side only. So let's turn the board. Yeah. So the name of this fourth line is the Levenfish line in the dragon variation. So it starts with the move pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, d6, pawn d4, pawn takes, knight to f6, knight c3, g6, and then again the move here is bishop to e2, then bishop to g7, then castling by white, and here black also castles. So it continues with knight b3, knight c6, bishop to g5, bishop e6, pawn f4, then pawn to b5, bishop f3, pawn b4, knight to d5, a5, a4, then pawn takes pawn and percent. And here again you can see it is equal, and comparatively I will say you this is lesser dynamic than the all the other three lines that we have seen yet. So if you are starting to play Sicilian defense, and if you are play you don't have enough experience to play it, so I would recommend you to play this line of Levenfish, because here the thing is you are both the players have castled on the same side, so there won't be too much dynamics going on. And here also so many things are stable only, all the work, or you can say all the tension here will be towards the queen side, and that much so you can handle. And obviously you have to learn handling the pressure when you are playing the Sicilian defense, like any variation or any lines you play. Okay, so but again this is equal, and again all three results are possible. So now let's go back and look at the very important variation of this Sicilian defense, that is accelerated dragon. Okay, this is not dragon, this is accelerated dragon variation. So it starts with the move pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, and on the second move itself there is a move knight to c6 that black plays, then pawn d4, pawn takes, knight takes, pawn to g6, knight to c3, bishop to g7, bishop to e3, knight f6, knight takes c6, pawn takes, then e5, knight to g8, pawn to f4, knight h6, queen d2, then castling by black, then castling by white, so again opposite side castle, then d6, h3, knight f5, bishop f2, pawn to c5, bishop c4, and bishop to b7. Okay, here black have this very strong two bishops, so they are crossing diagonally, two very strong dragon bishops, I would say. Again there is a tension in the center, and this side is open for black to attack, so black can use the b file to attack. And again the plan for white here will be to go for this g4, h4, h5 ideas. Okay, again all three results are possible. This is also a very dynamic line to play. Okay, hope you have enjoyed this video. Please like the video and subscribe the channel for more such videos.